Ruslom.com. This organization today combines about 200 enterprises working in the processing of scrap and the recycling of transport vehicles, located from Kaliningrad to Sakhalin. In a short period of time, from 6 organizations centered in Russia alone, we've expanded our borders, both within Russia and abroad. That means Japan, China, Singapore, the countries of Asia, and the countries of the European Union. Since 2017, the manufacturer's range of responsibilities has been expanded. The manufacturer pays 3 rubles for a phone like this in order to assemble it, transport it, and recycle it at a special enterprise. What do you think? Is 3 rubles enough? Of course it isn't. The solution that we offer involves a genuinely new approach, and it's a real revolution, according to many experts today. And we're certain that that's true, too. What is this revolution? We unite 4 groups. We unite producers of phones like these. We unite the consumer market, which uses these telephones. We unite the recyclers, which will go on to recycle this phone. And there's a 4th group. That's the enterprises that use these recycled materials. There are 4 groups that have to be united into a single cycle. Today, information technologies have made it possible to do this, to bring everything together in a single cycle and make it all as efficient as possible. That means today, thanks to the latest technologies, and the latest technologies essentially involve the use of blockchain technology for the recycling industry. That allows us to monitor the entire recycling process. In order to produce a kilogram of metal, you have to move or shift over 2 tons of lithospheres. That isn't recovered. We're still destroying the planet. That means that we're getting a situation where everyone in that chain benefits. And that's why we're convinced of the success of our project. The system that we're creating is a system of the future. The system of the future is a world without borders, where what we create together belongs to everyone. That's to say that if we're talking about the green economy, then the recycling sector has to be on a par with the production sector. Zero ecological footprint. That's an entirely new consumer society. It's not a consumer society that values its quality of life in terms of the quantity of technology or products that it consumes. We all, basically, only feel pride at having been on Earth and not having left rubbish behind. That's what your ecological footprint is. I remember 1995, when those batteries were in rubbish skips and were taken to dumps. That's without even mentioning the ecological damage that was done. But this product went into the ecological cycle from the individual to us, the recyclers. Then, as a good, in the form of lead, in this case for manufacturers of new batteries. This was brought about by new production facilities appearing. This is a liquid, marketable good. There are economic grounds to work on this within the association, the self-regulating organization Ruslom.com, for the last 6 or 7 years. We're studying this, seeing that there are lots of declarations regarding the return of recycled materials into economic circulation. That's basically one of the key goals. Taking a certain resource from nature, if it can be put back into economic circulation, then that must definitely be done. The problem is, however, that not all types of material that can be put back into economic circulation are economically viable. Even the most powerful company, whatever it is, can't allow itself to work locally on various different types of material. There's logistics, transport, fairly serious expenses involved in working on this on an individual basis. There's one thing that we understand. Any material that we take from nature has to be put back into economic circulation. If it can be put back into circulation, then that has to be done. In order to do that, though, there has to be a certain demand. How can you provide that demand if it's not economically viable? It has to be collected locally. The second goal revolves around the loss of strong relations between people, individuals, and so on. The trust in one another is lost. It happens intensively on the scale of individuals, between one another, between legal entities, and between states as a whole, if we're going to put it fashionably. There's the problem of settling accounts in the banking system. There's the problem of settling accounts between individuals. There's the problem of the speed with which settling up is done. The solution came with the appearance of new technologies on a so-called blockchain basis. We're seeing the solution to problems that have built up. Being in a project that unites individuals, suppliers, recipients of scrap and other materials, recyclers, manufacturers of finished products, and all the way back to the individual again. And in ensuring that this cycle is provided for them, that they have an interest in it, so that all the links in the chain have an interest in it. Here the issue of a certain unified currency that can provide for that flow arises. And naturally, you get a fully fledged project, which isn't just possible, it's essential, and it's essential that we make it happen. The task in hand is very complex and multifaceted. It requires prolonged development and a long period of preparation. The enterprise's success is dependent on that. Our specialists work in the legal sphere, in blockchain technologies. They're specialists in marketing. They're bankers. They're people who know what they're doing. We see the solution of a problem like this being found with the help of new blockchain technologies and the creation of platforms that will unite all of the participants in the recycling process and the use of recycled materials. We understand this global problem of collecting and processing recyclable materials. That's why we took the decision to participate in an international, unique project for the creation of a general, unifying platform on a blockchain base that will be created for all of the participants in this process. For the producers of end products, for individuals, for importers and exporters, for the processing of recyclable materials. Working in a specific business, in a specific production sphere, solving specific pressing problems is hard, and sometimes it's impossible to see the overall picture. We have a good understanding of the establishment and the development of civilization. We understand the evolution and revolutions within this movement. Revolution is a natural conclusion of any evolutionary process involving a change in quality. We've seen, or rather we know about, such a change in Europe. That's the Industrial Revolution, when Europe changed in terms of quality, when state borders were formed and the big leap was taken. We have a good understanding, of course, of the contradictions, the natural contradictions of a bipolar world. It couldn't be any other way. That's how civilization lives, how it exists. But the goal during a revolution is to make the future in the right way. The time is now coming for a new revolution in civilization. It's an information revolution, and it's appearing, first and foremost, through the economy. The economy is so powerfully mutually integrated that splitting off one section from another is impossible, despite all the contradictions and the complexity of today's world. Information technology is linked to communications between people, between enterprises, the development of common solutions. The formation and retention of links now happens instantaneously. In the past, it would have taken years or days at least. And this, of course, is the base for the formation of a new society of the future. We understand that civilization has built up enough waste to be able to take some more from nature. Civilization is entering a new cycle, a closed circuit, a hermetically sealed economy. We believe that the participation of as many companies as possible in this project will allow us to make the economy, the world economy, more efficient and less confused. It will allow natural resources and human resources to be preserved. We understand that our project will support the variety of the world.